All right, it is Friday, April 17th, 2026. So, it's just another day in the twilight zone, as I kind of like to call it. S&P was high for the 12th day of 13. 12 out of 13. I haven't even done the math on it right, but we've climbed from 63.16, which now looks bizarrely low. We have two minor downside gaps, one from today, of course, and one from, what's that, Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday had a gap. But the bigger one, of course, is ceasefire gap. We are going to have to come back to ceasefire gap sooner or later. I don't care what anybody else says. It's too big of a gap not to retrace to. These little ones, and clearly also red gap. Some of the bulls could say with a straight face that's just a breakaway gap, right? You just gap up and you just keep going. But this big one here, it's huge. We're gonna have to come down to this at some point. But yeah, RSI 73 overbought. New historic high 71.47. I mean, look, it's not even like it's marginal, right? The previous high was 7,002, which is now 124 points down. That's almost 2%. And daily momentum has actually accelerated a teeny bit higher. And clearly, this is going to remain positive all of next week. Might turn negative before the end of the month. Might. Clearly, that would require a resumption of hostilities. New historic highs all over the place today. I mean, I haven't even noted it. But how many? Basically, you're up for like, yeah, Nasdaq, 13 days up, 13 days straight up. I don't know how. I don't know in terms of. I'm sure there's somebody out there who must have checked. But what's the record run for the Nasdaq? And by the way, yeah, you can see ceasefire gap with the 200-day and 50-day intersecting. VIX, I mean, just ground down into the weekend, right? Again, basic upside target is green, which is also, of course, the equivalent to the S&P ceasefire gap. Again, maybe we'll print it next week, but if not, well, it's always more likely at the end of the month. I will note that the momentum's actually ticking up for a third day. Of course, the S&P is not doing that. So you could argue VIX is a leading indicator for the S&P, but clearly there's no real turn yet. I mean, it's possible. It's possible if there was hostilities next week resuming, then sure, VIX will jump up like that. It could be positive. It could be positive within 2 days. But the default would be to assume that VIX is going to turn positive, not next week, the following week. And again, the obvious target is this one, this green gap. Moving on, let's just fly through some stocks and see if there's anything of note. But we'll cover gold and silver. Actually, maybe we'll just leave that for the weekend, but we'll do oil for sure. Apple. I did extend a trend line here today, and we do have today's candles a little bit spiky. It's kind of interesting, but still, bullish day. There's no question about that. Archer Aviation, a second black candle at the 50-day. This isn't so great. And look, it's still $6 relative to 14. This is terrible, right? This is still terrible. I like the company for the long term. Minus quarter bounce because of gold silver. American Eagle, that is a black candle at the 50-day. That's bearish for Monday. That's a bearish one. First Majestic Silver, black candle. It's also spiky. AMD, new historic high, 281 evens, but it did cool and settle with a black candle. RSI is 80, overbought. Let me see, there's a black candle there. Amazon, 256.18 was the high. That's not quite a historic high, so just shy. Today's candle is black. That's bearish. Again, there's the ceasefire gap all the way down here. That's good $30, which is a clear 10% down. To just tag the gap. Never mind these lows. American Express up 1.8%, but today's candle is spiky from the 200-day, and we did officially fill the gap to 335. 339 was the high. So that's a bearish candle. American Express has earnings next Friday, I think. Thursday morning. Barrack money up 2%. It is stuck at the 50-day. Boeing up 2.1%, 223.38. That is not a black candle, but today's candle is pretty damn spiky. That's bearish for Monday. Bank of America, 23.91. Oh, look at that, a black candle. BlackRock. So despite the main market, BlackRock is still stuck under the high from Tuesday, which stalled at the 200-day. That's a problem. Blackstone. Look at that. Black candle, spiky from massive resistance. That's bearish for Monday. Are you seeing a theme here? You are seeing a theme, right? You get it. You can kind of predict where the rest of the other candles are going to be. Not all of them, but most of them are definitely leaning net red for Monday. Caterpillar was up 2.8. That does remind me. Let's cover SanDisk. SanDisk actually settled up, so it was down for a fair chunk of the day, up 0.2%. We could argue structure's a baby bull flag. I mean, look, a very loose stop would be the 50-day, which it held in March. Fractionally broke in late March, but the cautious will be using stops for that one. I will note the volume was massively high today, but then of course that was because it was OPEX, so it's pretty normal. Moving on, CCJ, that is a black candle. Carnival, up 7%, but today's candle was pretty spiky on the upper side. You can see they were selling it. Cleveland Cliffs has earnings on Monday morning, which should be lousy. Coinbase up 3% on crypto, which broke Bitcoin had a little breakout. Today's candle is not black, but it's a little bit spiky. There's some sellers out there. Deckers up. Disney, nothing bearish here. Headed for the 200-day, 110. ET, down in the morning, of course, because of oil, but we did have a reversal candle. Look at that nice little spike. It's a pretty strong reversal candle as well. It's pretty big. I like that a lot. That's bullish for Monday for energy stocks and this oil itself. Endeavor Silver, 1014, 1018. Okay, that's not a black candle, but it's spiky from the 50-day. Ford, 3.5%. Nothing particularly bearish. Yeah, I would note that we have a ceasefire gap all the way down to the mid-11s. That's an issue. Freeport, new historic high, 70.71. Nothing bearish there. Google, up 1.7%, mostly in line with the main market. Home Depot up 3.6%. Nothing particularly bearish there. Again, you can see ceasefire gap here. I haven't got time to mark ceasefire gaps on everything. I just don't have the time. It's impossible to keep all these charts up to date. Can't do it. Heckler, 2.2%, black candle. Intel, new historic high, 70.32, but it did close at 68.50, which is 35 cents below the high, below the opening. So that is a little black candle there. Ceasefire gap is 55 to 52, which is a long way down in percentage terms. I mean, that's $13 on 68.50 is what's that? Nice, 17, 18%. Joby, black candle, much like Archer Aviation. JP Morgan, black candle. KKR, black candle. A lot of black candles, right? More than you might have, more than I would have expected even. Kinder Morgan, we have a full upside reversal. That's an impressive gain considering oil was still down today. That's a bullish engulfing candle. That's impressive. Crete, a little bit spiky on the upper side. Meta, back above the 200-day. Nothing particularly bearish there, unlike the other stocks. No black candles. MP Materials, short-term high but reversing, down 2%. Microsoft, new cycle high, but that is a black candle with a spike. Bearish for Monday. I would accept the bulls could think, okay, even if Monday is down a little bit, then maybe Tuesday, Wednesday are up to tag green gap. This is a huge price magnet. It literally is like sucking the stock to tag the gap before we maybe drop back and break a new cycle low. It's possible if the main market maxes out, then that is it. I mean, look at that candle, black candle at the 200-day and 50-day, whacked. So in theory, it is one big stock that suggests that the main market will be down on Monday, at least to some extent. I don't know how much, but Micron struggling, down 0.5%. It's just tired, right? It's tired. Netflix down 9.7% on good earnings. Today's candle is a reversal candle, which is bullish for Monday. The problem is, also, by the way, volume was super high because it was OPEX. Problem is this, momentum is going to turn negative at the Monday open. So that's net bearish. So the cautious will not be buying that reversal candle. Nike up 0.7, black candle at the gap, bearish for Monday. Nvidia up 1.7, nothing bearish there. In fact, yesterday's candle was a reversal, right? Yeah, it was. Yesterday's candle was a bullish reversal. So that played out. Ondas down 2%. Chop. Oxy 53.79. That is a hollow red reversal candle with a spike. Bullish for Monday. Pan American Silver bouncing with silver. The Palantir up another 2.5%. There's the Trump low of 122. $24 up. 24 on 122 is pretty easy math. That's 20%, right? Ish. Maybe 19% to be precise. But yeah, 19% since Trump did his tweet last Friday. PayPal climbing. Looks like it's going to fill this gap. Red Cap down 7%. Again, you've got to be bullish drones for the long term though. Transocean down 6% because of oil. Rocket Lab up 2%. That looks, no, it's not a black candle. SMR up 10%, but I can't take it seriously. Target, that's impressive, up 3%. New multi-year high. It's impressive. Tesla up 3% to $400.62. Today's candle's a little bit spiky from the 200-day. Certainly not a black candle, so it's better than some of the other stocks out there. Some of the market makers will clearly be happy that they pinned it for OPEX at 400. Don't care, but well, okay, I was gonna say don't care, but that is a bearish engulfing candle from resistance. Isn't that interesting? That's a reversal candle. Bearish for Monday. United Airlines up 7.1%, but what a surprise. Black candle, spiky, bearish for Monday. So in theory, oil should be up on Monday. United Airlines should drop. I don't know how much, but in theory, and you can quote me on this on Monday, airlines should be down on Monday. Oil should be up. Again, I just don't know how much. Nobody knows. But I do know the candles are telling me airlines down, oil up on Monday. United Health up 2.5%. There's the ceasefire gap. Wow, look at this. All these old candles are dropping off now, so the price action's kind of getting stretched out again. Well, let's edit this. Why not? I can edit it in real time. Yeah, because I haven't marked it on this chart, but there is an upside gap, of course. To should we enable it green? Yeah, I mean, look, this one here. I could even say that. See, what I need is an AI computer that will just automatically do these gaps for me. That'd be pretty cool. And give me, yeah, literally just give me an AI to draw these on automatically, because they should, right? You could just be able to tell the computer, just draw the damn gaps on, right? Just draw the gaps and give them certain. You can tell the computer what colors you want, like upside gaps, blue, green, whatever. But yeah, so this one, I mean, broadly, it's a mess, right? Look at this. It's a chop fest. It's like over a year. It's been a mess. I think earnings are. Let me check. What is it? Earnings are early Tuesday, and they should be fine. But UPS up 1.3%. Exxon, yeah, what a surprise! Look at that floor spike. It's kind of a bullish hammer candle, bullish for Monday. Just thinking any other charts I should be highlighting. Individual stock charts, I can't remember, and I'm tired anyway. We will just and we're gonna leave silver and gold for the weekend, assuming I do any videos. I'm guessing I will. All right, oil, which is the more interesting area. Oil was officially down for the day, $9.49, 10%, settling at 85.20. So we had an intraday, actually an early low of 80.56 according to this. Okay, so according to the stock chart, this might actually change. I'm pretty sure I saw on Finviz, I saw a print of 78.97. I wouldn't be surprised if this damn thing changes in a couple of hours, because stock charts has issues with EOD charts, and sometimes they'll change later. But provisionally, it's telling me that the low was 80.56, but I'm pretty sure it's going to change to 78.97. In any case, red candle, it's no real sign of a floor. You could argue that it's trying to floor from the 50-day. Cyclically, it's on the low end. There's no question about that. For the week, oil was down $11.37, 11.8%. That's the second consecutive weekly decline. We do have a decisive close below support of 87s. And next support is around 79 to 78, which I'm pretty sure we saw anyway in pre-market. I don't know what. I think stock charts is going to adjust this later, and this candle will be spiky around there instead. Anyway, let's just forget about commodity oil and go to the USO, which I think is pretty impressive chart. We have a reversal candle, we have a spike, and it's a hammer candle. Of course, we have a new upside gap. I drew this all line out earlier, so it's like if Tuesday, Wednesday, or Monday, Tuesday, we could be here. But if you're bullish, as I am still midterm, I need to see a push back up to teal gap, which is the open on Monday. Remember on early Monday, I bailed from oil there, right at the top. I bought back on Tuesday, like there and a bit lower, and then sold some yesterday on Thursday. And I do hold one block, which is annoying, but hey, it's okay. It's all right. But yeah, that is a hollow red reversal candle. The last time we had one of those wasn't that long ago. It was literally there. And we had another one there. Look at these. Every time we get these reversal candles, up we go. Up we go. So in theory, Monday should see oil up. I was doing a space early, and I was just arranging my own kind of plan for next week. I'm thinking if oil does open down early Monday by just a few percent, I'm a buyer. I'm going to add on Monday morning if it opens down. I'm guessing though it opens up, in which case I won't chase. I would look to maybe buy on a cooling wave late Monday, maybe early Tuesday. But I'm still midterm bullish. I think this is just another cooling wave. I mean, clearly we're not oversold. We're only 47. And also, there's something to note is that volume, peak hysteria, was here way back on March 9th. And volume has been steadily declining until yesterday. And of course, today's volume is up because OPEX, right? So Monday's volume will probably drop back down to around, I don't know, 20 million or whatever. And yeah, on a daily chart, there's no sign of a turn yet. But we are on the low end. I'm starting to think we should get the MACD cycle leveling out and starting to tick back upwards into and across May. Again, this is clearly on the premise that hostilities resume. I cannot, and for the record, I do not believe there will be an agreement / deal. I don't see it. I just see two. It's not even like they're quibbling about one or two things. There's at least probably 6, 7 things that Trump is not going to want to agree with in terms of a peace agreement with the Iranians. He's not going to want to do it. And in some ways, I think he's actually looking for the excuse not to have a deal. I cannot see him conceding more than one or two things, and Iranians have pretty high demands, especially having won this round of the war. And so yeah, I agreed. I'm guessing no agreement, no deal, and hostilities will resume sooner rather than later. Maybe next week, maybe not until the following. I don't know, but in theory, it won't take long. So yeah, I want to be broadly long oil still. Today wasn't great, but could have been worse. And that is a reversal candle. So in theory, bullish oil for Monday, bearish the airlines, bearish equities in general, and I don't expect a massive. I don't expect any weekend geopolitical drama. You never know, of course, but I'm guessing we'll just see some renewed concern, and the oil should be up. And again, I want to see it above. I want to see USO above, and well, completely fill the gap to 127, which is $11 up, which is basically 10%. So I need to see all of this gap, this drop reversed, and then take out the 10MA and the top of the black candle and the teal gap. It's not going to be easy. There's a lot of resistance here, but bullish candle. Anyway, it's late and I'm tired. It's been a long week, a crazy week in the twilight zone. And you got to think, let's be clear, it's going to be more wild next week. Every week it's getting worse. It's true. The S&P doesn't reflect it, but people are more broke. If you read around, if you look around, the housing market's a mess. The car market is a mess. But equities don't particularly care. You could argue that the Fed are juicing them up a little bit with their QE. You could argue that the market is just generally hopeful of a deal. Well, I think that's stupid. The market is being overly hopeful. And even if you believe that there is a deal, well, what then? I mean, the economy has been massively impacted. That hasn't changed. That doesn't just disappear. So you got to think Q1, Q2 GDP is going to be a problem. Probably recessionary both quarters. So I'm guessing that officially it will be recognized as of late July when we get the first print of Q2 GDP that we've been in recession this year, all since January. And of course, higher oil, higher energy is a massively big downward pressure on the economy and the consumer. Anyway, without droning on about that any further, I wish you a good weekend. Try not to read too much. I mean, read some stuff, but try not to overload. Go watch a movie. If there's one thing again I recommend, go watch a movie. Project Hail Mary is distinctly recommended. And on that entertaining note, good night.